Hello and welcome back to On the Break. Yes, this is another video with Joel. We're back at it again. Here we are. Joel, we're going to talk about the NBA today. If you couldn't tell by the hats, how you
Of
doing, my
course,
guy?
doing very well. The draft is tomorrow.
The
The draft
draft?
is tomorrow.
Yes, it is tomorrow. We were
Couldn't be
originally
more
going to do a
excited.
mock draft for this video, but we looked back at it and we said we absolutely nothing is changing.
We would not have changed anything.
Nothing would have changed. But here we are. We're gonna talk about some trades went down. Woj had a lot of retweets yesterday. A lot of stuff's
Woj
going down.
bombs.
A lot of Woj bombs. We love to see them.
Woj
But
bombs.
there's a lot of speculation. A lot of stuff hasn't happened yet. I want to preface. As we're recording this, it is 12:45 p.m. Eastern time. If someone gets traded, do not tell me, "Hey, you missed this guy." I was
It's
not
gonna
aware
happen
of
right
it.
now.
It did not. Yeah, I'm gonna get a notification right now and says, "Oh, LeBron
Watch.
James traded to the Thunder. Woohoo!" But
Oh my god.
that would be ridiculous. But anyway, we know something that did happen. Okay, just to mention, just a quick start, little appetizer. Dennis Schroeder is going to be a Los Angeles Laker. The Thunder are doing some weird stuff right now, but we're gonna get into that. Dennis Schroeder to the Lakers, a point guard for Los Angeles that they need, and Dennis Schroeder is a very solid player. I like him a lot. I've always been a big Dennis Schroeder supporter. I loved his little hairdo, whatever it was, but I mean, the Lakers needed a point guard. They got a point guard for basically a pick that was going to be an absolute nobody. Maybe it could have been Miles Powell, but we won't talk about that. But the Lakers getting their point guard, what do you think of this trade?
Mhm. If I'm a Lakers fan, honestly, I love this trade considering that you needed a point guard. I hate this trade if I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I
Yeah,
I don't understand the logic behind this trade
yeah,
unless and unless you were trying to, make room for Chris Paul and then you trade Chris Paul, which we'll
yeah.
get into later, it doesn't make any sense to me. So
I think it's a
I'm
blowout.
not really sure I'm not really sure what the Thunder was thinking. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have like what, 3 first round picks this year. So
Yeah,
maybe and like for the next like 5 years, like they got crazy amount of picks now.
they
But
stole basically the
they
entire Clippers draft capital.
they have so many freaking picks, but listen, I'm not really sure what the Thunder's going to be doing. I'm assuming they are going to draft a point guard.
You have to.
I'm assuming they have to.
They just got rid of
So
two.
they just got rid of 2 of their best, of the best.
Yeah,
But it's high praise for Dennis Schroeder because, yeah, he should have won Sixth Man of the Year last year. He was amazing.
yeah.
I thought he did amazing last year. But, yeah, to sum it up, I would love this trade if I'm a Lakers fan. You got your point guard. I'm very confused about this trade being if I'm a Thunder fan.
Yeah, me too. I really don't understand that. I think the Thunder are trying to blow it up, but I would say that I would totally agree with what I just said. But then we look at the next trade with Chris Paul, and okay, we all knew Chris Paul was getting out of Oklahoma City. We
Mhm.
knew that was happening. That was a guarantee.
Yeah.
Um, I will say, I like this trade. I like it a lot for the Thunder. I absolutely hate it for the Suns. I don't.
Really?
You gave up Kelly Oubre and Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, Jalen, which is 2 young guys, and a first round pick for a 35-year-old point guard, and your window to win a championship has not even been opened yet. Chris Paul is not going to be in Phoenix when the Suns are able to win a championship with a young Devin Booker, and you gave up Kelly Oubre and you gave up Ricky Rubio, who are 2 very mainstay pieces in that Suns system. It's a puzzling trade to me. I don't care about Abdel Nader with the Thunder. I mean, he's okay. He's a decent player. He's
Yeah.
not that special. But do you see the Suns with Chris Paul winning a championship within the next 4 years?
See, I kind of disagree only because, okay, this is what I think the Suns are doing. They obviously saw what happened with the Heat last year. Well, actually, technically this year, but last season,
Yeah.
they made one move, got Jimmy Butler, then all of a sudden, they're in the NBA Finals, and nobody expected anything like this.
True.
I look at what the Suns have done, getting Chris Paul, getting a veteran point guard, something that Devin Booker has been trying to get since he's been in the league, something he hasn't had. And
Rubio.
to be honest with you, this is an upgrade of Ricky Rubio.
Well, obviously, defensively, it's a massive upgrade, but he's 35.
This is an upgrade of Ricky Rubio. See, I understand there is an age problem, but I don't even think the Suns really want him for that long. They want him for
Yeah.
at least this year, maybe next year if he decides to stay, and like that's about it.
Yeah.
Because the Suns right now, they obviously saw what they were doing in the bubble. They went 8-0. People are forgetting that they went 8-0 in the bubble.
Yeah.
I think that the Suns right now, even though someone like you or me or any other fans, we don't really see it now, but the Suns believe they are in win now mode. They believe that they have the roster to potentially win now. And people will say, well, that's crazy. Look at the Heat last year. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, who
I
knows
know what you're saying.
what they do in the draft? You know what I mean? You got that
Yeah.
too.
Here's the thing about it. You're in the Western Conference. You're not taking down Los Angeles. You're not taking down Denver. You're not taking down the other Los Angeles. You're not taking down. I mean, you could maybe take down Utah if they're still balling. But if the Suns are in win now mode, I think most of us would agree that that's probably pretty delusional. I mean,
It
you
could
know that
be. It could be.
that 8-0 run in the bubble. I don't know if I'd call it a fluke, but
I don't think
in
it
a
is either.
regular season, that team does not make the playoffs. They were not a good team. Their record wasn't good. They were in the playoffs. They didn't even make the playoffs actually, and they went undefeated and their record was bad enough that they didn't make the playoffs by going 8-0. This team was not. It's just not ready. I
You
don't
know,
think.
like
I like the development of Devin Booker with Chris Paul.
uh,
I do like that idea. But I mean, if you're just trying to, I think the Suns' direction was keep building young with what you had, and you give up Kelly Oubre, you give up Ricky Rubio, who's a good veteran, you give up 2 young players and a first-round pick. It changes the entire direction to me.
the only thing I will say that I would be mad about is that you gave up Kelly Oubre.
Yeah,
Despite, let's face it, the memes that we have of Kelly Oubre, he is a very good player.
correct. Yeah,
He is
he's
a
a great
very
young
good
player.
he's a very good player for the Suns. And it's like, and he had great chemistry with them too. Like you could tell
Yeah,
he was really close with all of them in the locker room. And it's like, you get rid of a guy like that. And like, see, something like that is something I could see that why the Suns are being so drastic about wanting to win now. They were so desperate, I should say, to get a veteran point guard, an all-star point guard as is. So, yeah, it is kind of delusional, but I understand what they're trying to do is all
yeah.
I'm saying.
No, I got the plan. I just don't think it's a good plan. That's kind of it. But yeah, that's really it.
It's not a good plan.
It's not a good plan, but it's a plan. That's what you got.
Yeah, it's a plan.
Yeah. No, I got a plan, Arthur. Anyway, but the next trade we have is a trade that I like for both sides. And it involves the hat. I'm not a Bucks fan, but I like the hat. We got the little Bucks on the underbrim if you can see that. But the Bucks have acquired their 3rd star for Giannis. They want that man to stay. They acquired Drew Holiday. Now, you give up Eric Bledsoe, you lose George Hill. But you also lose 5 first-round picks for Drew Holiday. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Drew Holiday to the Bucks is amazing trade. Drew Holiday is arguably the best defender in all of basketball, and you add a guard like him. I mean, Drew Holiday is a very major upgrade. Yes.
I was gonna say one thing. You said 5 first-round picks. Isn't it 3 and 2 pick swaps?
It's 3 and 2 picks. It's basically 5 first-round picks. But
I mean, they still get it.
yeah, you still get okay. Yeah, but it's. I mean, all right. It sounds a lot more drastic when you say 5 first-round picks.
That's why I was like, hold on,
mean?
don't. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, 2 pick swaps, 2024 swap, 2026 swap, a 2021st via Indianapolis, a 2025 unprotected first-round pick, a 2027 unprotected first-round pick. Is that better? Yeah. No, I got you. Thank you. Anyway, but yeah, so 3 first-round picks and 2 swaps. And they also lose Eric Bledsoe, right? Which is one of their main point guards last year. And I saw George Hill. George Hill was traded. Correct me if I'm wrong.
George Hill was traded. Yeah.
George Hill was traded in this trade. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the main part of this is the Pelicans are loaded for the future, right? Drew Holiday's a Buck. Do you have any problems with this? I think this is a great trade for both sides.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have no problem with this trade. And it's another situation with the Suns, except the Bucks are actually in, their championship team.
Correct.
This is exactly what it is. Drew Holiday is arguably one of the most underrated guards in the NBA. And you pair him up with Giannis and Chris Middleton, I think this team is going to like. Now is the time to worry. Now is the time to worry if Giannis resigns with them.
Yeah.
That's which I think he will. I think it's all noise that he's leaving. I don't believe
Especially
that at
after
all.
this.
Especially after this, exactly.
Yeah.
Now you could clearly see how much the Bucks want to keep him.
Yep.
You know how much like, and another thing, the 3 first-round picks. Let's be honest for a second. Like, I don't really think the Bucks are really concerned about their picks.
No, not at all.
I don't think they are. Like, you look at their roster within the last few years, they are veterans. There are lots and lots of veterans. They just re-signed players that you think are washed up, but when they get there, they're all of a sudden good again.
Yeah.
Look at Wesley Matthews, for example. Like, oh my, he actually been playing he started for them.
Yeah, Wesley Matthews was pretty good.
Door.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wesley Matthews had great years in Dallas. Then he had an Achilles injury, and then he went back to Milwaukee. Like, oh, he's pretty solid still. Yeah.
And then George Hill, when he left Cleveland, everyone thought he was done for, and all of a sudden he was almost well, he wasn't starting, but
he was one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire league, percentage-wise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, I honestly think Drew Holiday to the Bucks. I didn't really care what they got rid of.
Right.
Like once I saw that, all you saw was Drew Holiday to the Bucks. The Bucks. I don't care what they gave up.
Yeah, unless if it was Giannis or Middleton, the Bucks won that trade. Like
the Bucks won exactly. Yeah. So
I mean,
no problem with this trade either.
Yeah, I mean, one thing
I want to throw in real quick that after this trade, the Bucks made another move in acquiring a sign-in trade for Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Correct.
Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Not Bojan.
My mistake. Bogdan. Exactly.
The worst one.
Yeah, but I will say though, he is a 3-point specialist. This guy. So exactly, they're both good. So the Bucks now get Drew Holiday and Bogdan
Bogdanovic, the man who made that buzzer beater 3 for Sacramento a while ago.
Now the Bucks are acquiring themselves with shooters.
Yeah.
One thing that everyone was saying, the Bucks lack shooters. The Bucks don't have any shooters. Now they got shooters.
They lose a shooter in George Hill, a shooter in George Hill. Get one in Bogdan. I like it.
It works out. It works out.
Bucks know what they're doing. They're doing pretty good.
They know exactly what they're doing.
They have a great offseason, Milwaukee. You're probably going to re-sign Giannis. That's due next month. You have until late December to sign Giannis. And you just get Drew Holiday. You get, you still have Chris Middleton. You have a great roster, especially compared to last year. The Bucks' first-round picks are going to be at least like the 26th pick. And none of those picks ever really work out, especially for the Bucks. So you're basically giving up nothing. It's basically Eric Bledsoe and George Hill for Drew Holiday, really.
One thing I didn't really like in the Bogdan trade is that they ended up trading Dante DiVincenzo to the Kings, who I was really high on. I thought he was a really underrated point guard, that someone who I thought can develop into something good. But I mean, who knows? Who knows what Sacramento will do with him? Maybe they're not going to do anything. Maybe they'll trade him. Who knows what they're going to do? But I don't know. That was the only thing I was kind of upset about, because I really thought his future with Milwaukee would be pretty good. But you do what you got to do to win now.
Right. It's kind of, this is what you have to do to keep Giannis on the roster. And
exactly.
Getting a guy like Bogdanovic, you kind of need to do this kind of thing. But I don't know. Anyway, that's all the trades that are really important that have happened, unless if you count Rocco and Robert Covington, like to call him Rocco.
I guess you could mention it only for the sake that.
Just a quick mention.
Only because the Rockets ended up getting 2 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
But again, this is another situation where I feel like it's going to be 2 late first-round picks that no one's going to really care about.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, we're just going to get into Houston as a whole, really, because
this whole topic is Houston as a whole.
Yeah, this is just Houston as a whole, and I just there is James Harden speculation.
They're blowing it up.
They're blowing it up. This is a blow up, and this is exactly what they should do.
They're blowing it up.
You have Russell Westbrook rumors. He requested a trade. I don't know what's going to happen with him. But James Harden turned down a $50 million, not 15, $50 million a year extension with the Rockets. if you want to stay in Houston, you don't turn down $50 million in a state that has no income tax. Okay, James Harden does not care about the money right now. He wants to go to Brooklyn, which is what a lot of people have been hearing, and I do not like that fit.
It's not going to happen. It's
You
not
don't
going
think
to
it's
happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen at all. He will get traded, but he's not getting traded to the Nets.
Okay.
It will not. It will definitely. This is literally okay. Despite me wearing this Knicks hat right now,
Yeah.
I am a Spurs fan. I've said it a million times.
You think he's
But
going to Spurs?
this is exactly what happened when Kawhi wanted out of San Antonio.
Okay.
When Kawhi wanted out of San Antonio, he said he wanted to go to LA. What did Popovich do? He sent him to Toronto.
Yeah.
And he won a championship, but that's besides the point. We don't look at that.
We don't.
Looking at James Harden, he's saying, I want to go to Brooklyn. I would not send him to Brooklyn. I send him I don't know. I don't know where I would send him, but send him somewhere where he's going to wish he was in Houston. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Send him to Sacramento or something.
I don't care where you send him. I don't care where you send him. Because literally, because James Harden, he is a fantastic basketball player. There's no denying that.
100%.
But when it comes to him, he believes that he is in control of his own destiny when he's really not.
Yeah.
Some of these players need to realize just because you requested a trade and you say, hey, I want to go to Brooklyn, and me as the GM does not mean I have to send you to Brooklyn.
Yeah. The GM is going to take the best package that they get. Doesn't matter where it is.
I do not want to be competing with Brooklyn. I do not want to be the reason why there's a three-headed monster team out there in the East.
Yeah.
And that's my fault because you wanted to go to Brooklyn. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel like if he does end up going to Brooklyn, two things will happen. One, it's going to blow up because you got Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, three of some might say are the worst teammates to have. They're fantastic players, but they're terrible teammates.
At least Kyrie. I like KD as a teammate.
Actually, I take that back. KD's actually a pretty good teammate. But
KD is going to be a top 10 player when all this is said and done.
When all this is said to be done. But I do feel like Houston could get some leverage back from the Nets. Maybe someone like a Karis LeVert or like a Spencer Dinwiddie or like a Jared Allen. Who knows what they might get?
All three.
They might get all three. Who knows?
You might have to for James Harden.
They might have to. So. And, hell, they just offered him $50 million. They clearly have the cap to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he turned it down. So, sign a trade coming.
So, I look at what Houston is doing. They're obviously blowing it up. I understand. It's just James Harden saying, I want to go to the Nets does not mean you will go to the Nets. I think he will get traded. I think, I don't think the Rockets would want someone on their team that doesn't want to be there. That's why I also believe Russell Westbrook will get traded. I have no idea where he will go.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he will. But James Harden, no. Like I said, he'll get traded, not to the Nets.
Yeah. Can you see anything going on with Indiana and the Pacers and the Victor Oladipo rumors going on? Maybe you get some kind of sign and trade. James Harden to Indiana or Russell Westbrook. I'm thinking that. I'm just speculating at this point.
It is a speculation. I mean, something like that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because Victor Oladipo is someone that I believe should want out of Indiana. I think he does. I think he requested a trade.
He definitely does. It's not like public, but he wants out of there.
He wants out of Indiana. But
there was a tweet where his girlfriend responded to someone calling Miles Turner trash, and she was like, "Oh, maybe."
Yeah, but
Miles
there's
Turner.
There's a lot of players out there. Oh, he's amazing. But
I love him.
There are a lot of players in this league that do deserve a change of scenery. Someone like a Kyle Kuzma, just going off the top of my head, someone like a Victor Oladipo, someone that could shine in another place. But we're on the subject of Houston now.
Yeah,
it's just very confusing because, like I said, James Harden wants out all of a sudden. Russell Westbrook wants out. Who would want it?
Who would want Russell Westbrook? Let's be honest.
Who can afford him?
who can afford him, and Russell Westbrook is not a player that you can put in like Indiana. Let's say you trade Victor Oladipo for Russell Westbrook and some other things, whatever package makes it work. Indiana is not much better of a team, right? Russell Westbrook, I mean, he'll get you to the playoffs and he'll get a triple-double, but he's not going to push you over the edge and be that superstar that carries you to a championship. Even in the Eastern Conference, with you'll have Milwaukee, you'll have Drew Holiday guarding Russell Westbrook at some point if that playoff series happens. Done. That's your threat. Done. Right? Russell Westbrook, the older he gets, the more he loses his athleticism, the less that he is Russell Westbrook. I love
He's
Russell
32.
Westbrook. He's 32. He doesn't have a lot of Russell Westbrook years left in him. Why would you trade for him? I've seen rumors with Boston, my Celtics, trading Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart for him. I said, God, no. If they do that, I would. That just made me vomit.
I saw a rumor where so right now the only teams that we know of that have talked to Houston about acquiring Russell Westbrook were the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Pistons. Those three have all. See, here's the thing. Something like that, I feel like both teams would lose in that scenario.
100%. They would both lose.
Both teams would lose. For all of them, really. I feel like if you're
nobody wins by getting Russell Westbrook. There's no team in the league that wins.
Even if the Knicks get Russell Westbrook, I'm saying to myself, you needed a shooter.
Yeah.
Why are you getting Russell Westbrook?
Let's see. How would that help the Knicks? They would get better ticket sales. Oh, wait, there's no fans. There's no point in getting Russell Westbrook if you want to win.
There's no point. You should have gotten him like 5 years ago. Like, honestly.
You should have drafted him, if anything.
Russell Westbrook, if he were to be traded to the Knicks, I don't even think, like, if you gave me the option of having the 8th pick in this, just let down draft class or Russell Westbrook, I'd rather have the 8th pick.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the 8th pick.
Joel, you would rather have Tyrese Halliburton than Russell Westbrook.
I'd rather have Tyrese Halliburton.
I kind of agree with you. Based on how much you would have to give up to get Russell Westbrook and the money you'd have to pay the guy, I would rather have the 8th pick and draft Tyrese Halliburton than a 32-year-old player whose game is entirely based off athleticism and cannot shoot the ball for his life consistently.
I'd rather draft Devin Vassell. I don't care who we get.
But James Harden's an interesting one. We're going to go a little bit with James Harden. I have similar beliefs with James Harden. I don't think he's a player that can carry you to a championship. I really don't. Now, here's a team.
No, I don't think so either.
Orlando, if they were to get James Harden, they have a good team. They have Vucevic. I like him a lot. Aaron Gordon's been rumored.
That team is interesting. I was gonna mention that Aaron Gordon has been rumored to be traded.
If James Harden is a guaranteed out, let's say, if Orlando decides, hey, let's trade a lot of our draft capital and Aaron Gordon and maybe Markelle Fultz, let's say, whatever they have to give up, as long as it doesn't involve Vucevic, it doesn't give up a huge part of their core, you put James Harden, a team in Orlando, a team that needs shooting and a guy that can create his own shot. I'd like that a lot.
And let's not forget for the past 2 years, the Orlando Magic have made the playoffs.
They have made the playoffs. They're a sneaky good team, and they're not an easy out either. They beat Milwaukee. They won a game against Milwaukee this year.
They won a game against Milwaukee, and they won a game against
Toronto the year before.
Toronto, yeah.
They have a lot of potential. I like them a lot, and they have pieces that they can give up. And if you get a James Harden, you're a good team. And they're a team. If you get James Harden, that team is a top 5-4 team in the entire conference, maybe even higher if you want to go there. But I like that trade. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if any of these guys will get traded. We're assuming they will. Again, now it's 1:09. In an hour from now, right before this video gets uploaded, we'll probably see some kind of trade happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it'll be a draft trade.
Happen.
Could be a draft night trade. Once Orlando's pick comes up, you'll see James Harden on that trade list.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go with Orlando for James Harden. I'm gonna say Russell Westbrook goes nowhere. Maybe the Knicks. I'm gonna say he goes to the Knicks if I have to pick one, and he just kind of retires and becomes irrelevant. That's kind of it. That's all I
Pretty
have for
much.
Russell Westbrook. Anything else you have to add today?
If Russell Westbrook does get traded, I do feel like it would probably be regrettably to the Knicks,
Yeah,
only because I don't see any other team would wanting him. You know what I
that's
mean?
my thing. Nobody wants the guy.
If James Harden gets traded, I'm surprised we haven't brought this up. I think he might get traded to the Sixers.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've seen
I
that.
I think he might get traded to the Sixers, and the Sixers they've been talking about trading either Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. They're saying they're not matching well together. They need to trade one of them. Who
Yeah.
knows? They might just end up trading Ben Simmons. He is, to be honest with you, he is somewhat of a Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Doesn't really shoot, can't shoot. He's an
Yeah.
amazing dunker. He's great in the paint. He passes well.
A lot taller, but I mean,
Taller.
in terms of game style, it's kind of similar. I do
Ben
like
Simmons to
I like
Houston?
both. Ben
Might
Simmons
just
to
happen.
Houston. Thank God Mike D'Antoni's gone. Then you'd see Ben Simmons shooting the ball 10 times a game if that was still the case.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, I do like that Sixers idea. I do like that a lot. I think James Harden will either go to Philly,
Mhm.
Brooklyn, or the Magic. I think the Nets are actually probably on the bottom of that list. But anyway, unless if you have anything else to add, that will
I
do
think
it.
I got everything.
I think we got everything we wanted to get into. You know,
Mhm.
that will do it for us with On the Break. I'm John. Next to yes, that is Joel. We will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. We're on the break. Thank you all.